Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I'm going to be breaking down the update for my Primalist Shaman Leaping Earthquaker. Now I just want to say that this is probably the most fun you will have with a build because you get to jump all over the place. On top of that, it's the hardest hitting build I have ever made. At the test dummy, I was able to crit over 120,000 damage. As always, I'm going to start with gameplay. We will break down skills, passives, and end with gear. All right, let's jump right into this. Now, the skills that I'm going to be using for this run is Fury Leap, Earthquake, Maelstrom, Summon Thorn Totem, and Tempest Strike. Now, the order, you always want Maelstrom up as you are fighting, and it's an instant cast, so it's very easy to do. This literally does almost no damage for you, but what it does do is chill the enemies around you and potentially freeze them. And I'll explain to you when we're breaking down the skills why that is so important. So what you're going to basically doing is basically leaping on people, then hitting them with Earthquake, and then to recharge your mana and to proc your totems, you will be using Tempest Strike. And Tempest Strike will basically give you mana quick, and again, make your totems, which also make you stronger. So check this out. And again, it hits very, very hard. Probably am going to need some run walk, but ultimately you're jumping around, and most of the stuff just kind of dies around you. Very fast. Good night. I normally just kind of keep moving until I get a big enough pack.
We will not die here.
It hits very, very hard. And you'll notice that people do get frozen by this build as well. Come on. Come on.
Impossible.
Tempest Strike, when it doesn't proc Earth Spikes, give you a quick mana reboost as well because Earthquake is very, very mana intensive. Good night. You time your leap good too. You can a lot of times one hit people as well with your leap.
Impossible.
Enemies go down quick. It's fun when you get good with leap. Alright, stop shooting me. And oh, we're almost there. Who do we got? Oh, watch how fast. Gone. 2 earthquakes. Gone. Love that. All right, leave me alone.
Impossible.
Okay. Unbelievable. Okay. Hopefully this is the last time I need to say this, but the lag that you're seeing from this gameplay is not from the game, it's from OBS. Okay, so again, you're jumping around, you're hitting people, you're knocking them with Earthquake, you're chilling them, you're freezing them, and again, your totems help you survive and give you a huge boost to your damage and kind of act as shields when there's a lot of people around you. That boss at the end of this run died from 2 earthquakes. Starting with skills, and the first skill is Summon Thorn Totem. You want 3 into Forested Expanse, 4 into Eternal Forest, 1 into Grove Mind, 1 into Torrent of Thorns, 3 into Lethal Thicket, 1 into Ancient Power, 2 into Impale, and 5 into Shred Armor. Now the totems themselves, even though it's a physical totem, does not do a whole lot of damage, but having the totems on the field does give you tons of survivability and gives you a huge percentage boost to your Earthquake and overall damage, and I will explain that later. But what this totem will do is also absorb damage around you, because enemies will attack the totems, and 100% of the time it'll be shredding armor, which then again will allow the Earthquake to do more damage. Okay, we're going to skip Earthquake and Leap, and we're going to go to Maelstrom. So on here you want 5 into Turmoil, 3 into Whirlpool, 5 into Arctic Chill, 5 into Arctic Blast, 1 into Sudden Gale, and 1 into Calm. Now these 3 are the only really big ones, because Sudden Gale makes it so it's an instant cast, so it's just quick to do. And then obviously Arctic Blast and Arctic Chill, chill and freeze enemies, okay? And when we talk about Earthquake, I'll tell you why the skill is so important. Now moving over to Tempest Strike. Now when it comes to Tempest Strike, this skill is going to do 2 things. It's going to recharge your mana, and it's going to proc your totems for you. So 95% of the time, you never actually have to use the totem skill. It will work for you. 1 into Reinforced Stone, 5 into Unspent Power, 1 into Thirsty Blades, 1 into Charged Stone, 1 into Dead Wind, 4 into Boulder Smash, 1 into Earthquake, 4 into Earth's Aid, 1 into Hailstorm, and 1 into Grounded. Okay, I'm going to do my best to explain this because it has taken me so long to tweak and master this skill to work perfectly for this build, okay? Now the idea is you want only Earth Spikes to be what procs, and you want the other 2 to go away, but you want Earth Spikes to be the lowest it can possibly be, okay? So let's total the percentages. So naturally, Earth Spikes will have a 20% chance. Then when you take Reinforced Stone, it's going to give an additional 5%. Then when you get rid of Northern Winds, it'll also give Earth an extra 8. And when you get rid of Lightning Bolt, it's going to give Earth Spikes another 8. So that means the chance for you to proc Earth Spikes is 41%. Okay? Now, every single time that 41%, it goes off, it is going to 100% proc your Summon Thorn Totems. So you'll be hitting, and for free, 41% of the time, it's going to summon you 5 totems, okay? But now that other 59% that Earth Spikes does not proc, it is going to give you plus 20 to mana. That's how you're recharging your mana so fast. So Tempest Strike as a skill itself practically does no damage. It'll only help you kill those last remaining little guys if there's a little bit of life left. But what it will do is recharge your mana, it'll proc your totems, and right here under Boulder Smash, a 200% chance to stun. Okay? Moving over to Leap. 2 into Crater, 6 into Savage Impact, 1 into Aspect of the Mantis, and this is the skill where if you kill an enemy, any enemy with a short jump, it auto recharges it, so you get to use Leap again. That's why I was able to double jump during the gameplay. 4 into Ambush Predator, and 7 into Warrior's Entrance. What Warrior's Entrance is once you land for 3 seconds, you're going to get 105% boost to your damage. That's why it's important that right when you land, if you're around a bunch of enemies, you immediately hit Earthquake, because Earthquake will hit for a lot more damage. And last but not least, Earthquake. 3 into Rupture, 2 into Sunder, 5 into The Harder They Fall, 2 into Potency, 2 into Concussion, 1 into Outbreak, and 5 into Shatterquake. Okay, now if you total all these damages together, you're going to get an additional 355% to your Earthquake damage. Now the 2 big ones on here, one is Shatterquake, more damage against chilled or frozen enemies. So do you remember Maelstrom? It's going to be chilling and freezing all enemies around you. That's why that skill is so important, okay? So it's going to be chilling everybody, so your Earthquake's going to immediately do 150% more damage. Then when you come over here to The Harder They Fall, an additional 100% damage against rares and bosses. That's why I was able to kill the boss so easily at the end of the run. So every skill is tied together. So procs your totems, which gives you damage and resistances, and gives you your mana for Earthquake. Makes it so your Earthquake's 150% more damage by chilling and freezing. The second you land, it's going to give 105% more damage to your physical and your melee, so an additional 210% damage from leap, and then the Earthquake itself, 355% damage. That's why I was able to crit over 120,000 damage with this Earthquake. Hardest hitting skill I've ever seen. Moving over to passives, and right now my character is level 84. Like normal, I will go through these pretty fast. Under Primalist, 8 into Primal Strength, 6 into Survival of the Pack, 10 into Ancestral Weaponry, 2 into Tempestborn, 5 into Thorn Bond, and 5 into Berserker. Under Beastmaster, this is what I've been leveling right now, 7 into Ursin Strength. Under Druid, 6 into Blood Claws. And then under Shaman, 8 into Shamanic Infusion, 8 into Silent Protector, 5 into Totemic Fury, 8 into Tempest Form, and Tempest Form gives you 8 mana every single time you use Tempest Strike, so really you're going to be getting 28 mana per swing. Skip the entire middle, 3 into Protective Circle, 8 into Storm Blade, and 8 into Elemental Shrines. Now, after we go over gear, I will show you just how much stronger your character is when you have your 5 totems up from these passives. Moving over to gear. Now, for this build, it requires no special sets or no special uniques. You're only going to be using rares, and this can push anything in end game. And of course, the gear can always be better. Actually, right now, probably the worst thing I have is my idols. So I will go through every single item I have so you can check it out. Physical damage, crit avoidance and health percent, crit avoidance and cast healing, and then physical damage. Okay, so yeah, my idols could be better. Helmet, amulet, armor, ring, belt, other ring, gloves, boots, relic, and axe. Now, out of all of this gear, I guess the only item I should say that is required is you have to have a Kraken beak. This is the best axe in the game, and it is the item you need for this build to work correctly. And I was very fortunate to get one that rolled with a implicit of plus 25% or 25 melee cold. That's the highest you can get. So 90 melee physical, 25 melee cold, plus 38 melee physical, plus 150% to physical damage. This is a very, very, very good item. Now, why is this the item that you have to have for this build? Okay, so all those pluses, right, which give you huge damage boosts because of percentages. Well, again, when you look at your passive skills right here, Ancestral Weaponry gives you plus 40 if you're using a two-handed axe. You're getting an additional plus 40 from there, which is why you have to have this axe. Moving over to our character sheet. Now at the top again, level 84. Right now I've got 27 points into strength and 27 points into attunement. Now if you ever have a choice between these two, always go for strength, because strength will boost your earthquake and your leap, where attunement will only boost your earthquake. But since earthquake's where our main damage is at, both of them will help your earthquake. Now, when you look at my resistances with this build right now with that gear, you're probably thinking fire, lightning, cold, and physical, I'm horrible, okay? And then poison, necrotic, and void, I'm good. So when you look at my armor, 1878, 34% damage mitigation. So watch when I put my totems up. And boom. 95, 95, 95, 96, 80, 80, 82, and now armor's up to 2462, which is 37%. And of course, with my gear and totems, I have 105% crit strike avoidance. So now I'm a tank. Okay, now let's look at damage. So melee damage right now, 50%. It's practically nothing, right? Physical damage is better, 287%. Now let's put up our totems. Now you're up to 230 and 307. So now you're what, at 537% to melee and physical. But let's add in a leap. And again, obviously it's quick. It's only 3 seconds, but now when you put in leap, 412, 335. You're now almost at 750 damage when you drop in your leap. Okay? Now you throw in your Maelstrom. When you have Maelstrom going, like I said earlier, you're going to get that 150% damage for Earthquake. On top of that, when you're fighting a boss, you're also going to get that additional 100%. But we're not done. On top of that, if you're ever in a hard fight, Berserker, if you're under 35% health, you're going to get an additional 100% damage from Berserker to your melee. Again, Earthquake can hit for over 120,000 damage. All right, everybody, that is the build. My Primalist Shaman Leaping Earthquaker. By far the funnest build I have ever made, and again, hits the hardest. Now, I've been asked a lot about what loot filters I use for all my builds, and those will be coming as links in the description. I just really want to make sure they're fine-tuned and work correctly before I drop those. I've also been asked multiple times about how do you level these characters. So I already have another character pretty much already done, my Sentinel build, but starting with my 5th build, I will put in progression guides for how you can level them up to end game as well. So all of that is coming. But I'm curious, what do you think of my Leaping Earthquaker? Is there something that I potentially missed, something I can do to make this character stronger, or potentially an area for the gear? Let me know in the comment section below. If you have not joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. Now over 360 members, great conversations every day, especially around last Epoch. The idea is to create a gaming community that could jump from game to game together so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description, and you could talk to me directly if you have questions about this build. That's all I've got. Stay home, stay safe. Do not forget to join the official Action RPG Discord. Aaron, out.